cousins, it's your girl Angela. I'm back today, honey, and I'm in this kitchen and I'm cooking up something good that I know all of us are gonna love and enjoy, right? So guess what I'm cooking today? Da-da-da-da-da-da. My brown sugar honey pineapple glazed ham. Honey, let's get into it. I've already started cutting the papers off the ham, but before we get into it, let me just show you everything that we're doing, okay? So cousin Angie's gonna bring you all on over to the home, to the kitchen tonight. Excuse the camera stand for making noise. But listen, baby, we got us some Dole pineapples. All right. Love Dole pineapples. Now listen, I got me some yellow mustard. So I'm gonna move the pineapple and the mustard out the way. We got us some honey. You get whatever honey's on sale. Some light brown sugar. Be sure it's light brown sugar, cousins. All right. I got me a teaspoon of cornstarch. All right. And I've got me 3 tablespoons of cold water here. And I've got 4 tablespoons of salted. Make sure it's salted butter. Now I've already begun to cut the netting off the ham, as you see, because the package that came with this ham, we're going to disregard it. We don't need it, so that needs to go to the trash. Now what cousin Angie's going to do is, you see, I've already started, like I said, removing the netting. Keep your clean bag next to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step away and I'm going to go over to my nice clean sink and I'm going to cut this off and rinse this ham off with lukewarm water. You want to just make sure massage water all over, all on the front, all that, okay, because it's got that red juice in there. All right, so once I finish rinsing my ham off and, dried it off with clean paper towels, then I'm going to come back and we're going to put it inside our baking dish. I'll be right back. Okay, cousins, so I've cleaned our ham. I've cut off all the plastic, released the red juices, let them go down the drain, and then we have our ham ready to go. Now, the reason why I'm back over here is because we have our cooking pan. So we're gonna use this nice cooking pan. All right, I'm gonna set the tray that goes in here. Now this pan came with a little stand that you can set up on, put the ham on, but I prefer to use the bottom of this one, the dripping tray. So I'm the Reynolds wrap girl, non-stick. So I'm gonna take I know most people will put their ham in first and then cover it up. I just like to put my foil in and then put my ham in on top of it and cover it up. So I'm gonna put out a large piece of ham. I'm gonna pull out a large piece of foil. I'm sorry, I said ham. All right, so then I'm gonna set this aside right quick on my stove. And I always like to flip mine and use the shiny side up, right? So here we go. And I'm just basically gonna go now and get our ham and let it go in from that point, okay? So I'll be right back. Give me a second. All right, here we go, cousins. So here's our ham, and I set it just like that. All right. So now, what I'm gonna do with our ham, I'm just gonna take it. It's all right. I'm just gonna hold that foil just like that to hold that ham together. All right. All right. Cover it up tight as you can. So when this side falls down, here's how I do that. I take my foil and I press in on that piece of ham. And I fold my foil, covering up all my little places so that it can retain the heat on the inside, right? Now, I have my stove set to 345. I have my stove set to 350 degrees. All right? And so I'm going to let this run in the oven for about 40 to 45 minutes, okay? No longer than 45 minutes. All right? So I will meet you at the stove when it's time to get to the next part of our ham. So I'll meet you back here in about 40 minutes. All right, cousins. So you've seen me place our ham in our pan, our baking pan, cover it up with foil. I've nicely washed my hands with hot soapy water. Now I'm drying them off. So now during the process time that our ham is cooking for about 40 minutes, the longest I usually cook mine is 45. So the longest, when my ham comes out, what I'll do is I'm going to come back and we're going to go to the stove and then we're going to go to the next step. All right. Be sure to clean your area as you go along and you cook, and to keep everything sanitized. All right. We don't want any cross contaminations with anything that we're touching. All right. See you soon. Okay, cousins, so we're back here now at the stove, and so what we're going to do now, we are about 17 minutes and 56 seconds away from the ham coming out of the oven. I'm looking at my timer. So in the meantime, I've got 4 tablespoons of butter, okay? I've got my saucepan here very hot, so we're just gonna go get straight to it. All right, I think just a little bit more heat. So I have an electric stove, so I have my stove on about a 4.5. I'm gonna crank it up to a number 5. All right, we want this pan to get nice and hot. I've moved over everything that we need for our glaze. So in the meantime, I'm just going to position you all down and look in the pan, and we're going to get straight to it, all right? So this will be my brown sugar, honey, pineapple glaze for my ham. First things we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our butter melted in our saucepan. Okay, come on here. Go ahead and get all the extra butter. I don't want to throw anything in the trash. Be sure to get all your money off, cousins. Alright. Alright. Alright, put this in my trash. Be sure to keep your clean trash bag. I got me a nice clean napkin. Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead. Get you a little closer if I can here. Try to bring this around. There we go. So we just want to get this butter nice. Go ahead and melt that real good. Okay. Alright, here we go. Now that our butter is just about melted, there we go, that little piece there. I'm going to move this away for a second. Next thing I want to do, be sure to clean your cans. Any canned goods that you open, I've already nicely washed. Nicely washed my can and dried it off. So I'm going to shake it up. Alright. I'm going to use the entire can of pineapple juice. This thing is hard to come off, but we're going to... At this point, I just want the juice. And I use the entire can of juice. This is probably about a cup full. Alright, we got all of our juice out of there. And this is a 20-ounce can of pineapples. So I'm going to put this back over here because we're going to need our pineapples for our ham. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just mix that a little here. I have my 3 tablespoons of water back there that we had earlier. So we're going to let that rock out for a minute. So the next thing we're going to do is our mustard. And on this mustard, all you want, cousins, it's just about a tablespoon of mustard. That's all you need. Alright, just a tablespoon. That's all you need. You want to mix that really well. You want to make sure that mustard is melted. There is no clumps of mustard or anything. It has to be nicely melted. Let me show you what we're looking at. See that? All liquid. Alright? So now that we've done that, the next thing I'm going to do is come back with a cup of honey. Okay? People always ask me, how do I keep my honey from being so thick? You know, when most people say their honey is hard to come out. Well, how I do it is, when I open it, I don't set it in the refrigerator. I put it back on my pantry shelf. And I'm using the remaining half that was in here. Okay? Because I had already used half. So, whatever I had left in here, I'm just using that on up. That's all I'm doing. Because I had to use this for Thanksgiving, so I said, we're going to use that other half, and I'm going to record that ham. Okay, so we're going to let this be upside down for a minute so we can get some more. So I'm going to turn my stove down because it's on a number 5. So I'm going to turn it down to 4.5. That melted just nicely. All right. Let me let you take a look into the pot. All right. So now I'm going to cut open my light brown sugar. And using my light brown sugar, we're just going to do about a cup of light brown sugar. All right. I'm going to cut these off. Have to be careful with the light brown sugar. And I'm usually going to use about half a bag, which is probably about a cup. I've been doing this for so long, guys. I know how to do this. So you only want about a cup. Now, I can get a little bit more out of there, just a little bit to make it half. Okay, I don't want to go too far. And there we go, half a bag of sugar, like I said. All right. And what I do with this is I take it and put it in a Ziploc bag, roll it down real. I'll show you how I preserve my light brown sugar. So let me just put it back over here. All right. So now what we want to do is just stir our light brown sugar. We don't want it to be any lumps, okay? Don't want your stove to be up high, please. Just like a medium low is all you need. And there's no lumps in here at all. Alright, so I'm just let this come to a boil for a few minutes, cousins. Just let it simmer here for a second and come to a nice little boil. And then once it comes to a nice little boil, we'll go ahead and add our cornstarch. But before we do that, while we're waiting on that, I've got a nice clean bowl over here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add in our cornstarch. Make sure you get everything out. Just want to make sure I get everything out. I'm going to go ahead and add our water. Oh, burnt myself. Go ahead and add our water to it. And if you need a little bit more water, which I think I do, I'm just going to add it over here. Some cold water. Just a little. Okay. And I have another nice whisk. So I'm going to just stir. And this is what you're looking for. This is the consistency. You don't want to make it thick. Just want to leave it right there. A loose consistency. Make sure you have no lumps in it, okay? Now, our brown sugar, honey, pineapple glaze is coming to a boil here. So what I want to do at this time is pour in our cornstarch, just like that. Oh, I almost dropped it here. Lord, get this to the sink. All right, so now we just want to mix, okay? Our ham is about 9 minutes and 48 seconds away from coming out of the oven. All right, so we're just going to let this reduce some and get a little thick, okay? This is going to be a delicious glaze. So we're just going to give that some time, let it come to a boil, and then reduce a little bit, and then we'll be ready to go. I'll be right back. All right, see that our glaze is starting to come to a boil. We're just going to let this reduce for about 2 or 3 minutes. That's all we're doing. It won't take long. Be sure to consistently stir because you don't want it to get thick, too thick on you. Okay? Get around the size of that pot. Get all your goodness. We are 7 minutes and 21 seconds away from the ham coming out the oven. So at this point, we want to go ahead and turn our glaze off just 2 or 3 minutes until it comes to a boil like that. Be sure to stir. Be sure to stir. Get all that goodness from around the side and the bottom. Okay? All right. Let's see how we got that reduced. Just so easy. Okay. So now we're going to come back when it's time for the ham to come out. Then we'll glaze it. Okay, cousins, so our ham is ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch aisles with the glaze over here. Okay, I want you all to see what I'm doing. I'm going to move everything over. This oven is hot, hot, hot. So we're going to leave our oven on 350 because we're not done yet. Right now, we just want to, whew, that's baby is heavy. All right, so we're going to leave our oven on 350. Don't change anything. Just leave it on. I'm going to pull you guys over here. I'm going to show you the next step, which is very easy, okay? Please don't burn yourself. Whew. All right. Oh, this thing is hot. All right, so, oh, Jesus. I should say never do what I'm doing, huh? All right, so listen. I've got our pineapples, and this is how I do it. I should have got me some toothpicks, but Cousin Angie didn't go out and get anything or send anything from Instacart, so this is how Cousin Angie does it. But she don't have no toothpicks. It's all right. It's gonna cook, and it's gonna be just as good, huh? Without the toothpicks. Okay. Ooh, that's hot. Jesus. Okay. Give me a second. We're gonna use every bit of a pineapple in here. Okay. I'm gonna try to pull this back a little bit more. Ooh, child, it's hot. And I usually like to take my foil, pull it out, and just kind of roll it down like that. Just like that. Pull it out and roll it down like that. Just like that. Ooh. Whew, that's hot. Don't want to burn myself, Jesus. Okay, here we go. Oh, child, it's hot. It's okay. I'm just going to try to put it right there. It's going to be all right. The ham is going the same way, sugar. All right. I think I got 1 or 2 more in here. Ooh, that's hot. And listen, we're just going to pour this on over there just like that, huh? Like my Uncle Charles say, just like that there. Make sure you rinse out your cans and everything in scalding hot water and soap, okay? You don't want anything sticky in your trash cans. Alright, that's alright, honey. Alright, listen, we're going to go to the next step. And this is where the goodness comes in. We're going to take this glaze and we're going to drizzle it over just like that. Be sure to get all the goodness all over it, honey. Okay. let it get down in the goodness of them. This is a sparrow ham. You can let it get down in the goodness of the ham, but it's going to seek in there anyway. So I just like to take them and kind of spread them apart. Ooh, child, it's hot. Make sure your hands are nicely clean. I just like to drizzle it down in there between the layers that are already. And just let it get all up in there. So at this time, I'm going to reserve some of my liquid. So at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this back in my oven, unwrapped, cousins, unwrapped, for about 15 minutes. Just give yourself 15 more minutes, honey, before you go ahead and decide to eat all this goodness, okay? All right, so listen, it's going to all work out. Cousin Angie, be right back. Okay, cousins, so I'm back. I just wanted to show you all how I keep my brown sugar from clumping up. I take a nice, clean, brand new Ziploc bag. I take the half a bag of brown sugar that I used, right? And what I do is I just fold in each side, and I just fold it down real tight, tight as you can get it, no air, right? Then I take my Ziploc bag, and I'll put it like in one corner of the bag, right? So in other words, on the right side of the bag. So then I don't zip the bag up first. I just turn it sideways and get all the air out, right? Get as much air out as you can. And fold it in half again. And now you want to just zip it all the way across. Just keeping your hand down on the bag for the pressure, you know, so that the bag won't come unloose or unravel. You just want to hold it down with your hand, your left hand, and zip it all the way around. And now look, it's flat. There's no air in it. See? Just like I did that. There's no air pockets, nothing. See? And so then I take it, I put it back. It slides very easy right back into there, just like that. See? And then I set it on my pantry, and I go on about my business, because if you put it in a refrigerator, it gets hard, and then you're trying to get it soft, and if you put it in the microwave, it doesn't come soft. So I leave this up on my pantry, and I'm usually using it within another 2 weeks or so on another dish, okay? Even if I leave it on there for a month. If I haven't used it in a month, I always open the box, take it out, make sure it's fresh, and go on about my business. All right? See you shortly. All right, cousins, so our beautiful brown sugar, honey, pineapple glazed ham is done and out of the oven. I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see it. I don't want to try to lift it because this thing's hot, okay? So let me just bring you on over here. And I do have some more glaze reserved. Oh, I'm sorry, this camera's stand is making so much noise. I apologize. So here is our ham, cousins. Let me know what you think about this bad baby, okay? Ooh, it's hot. Just want to turn it. Ooh, child, is hot. Just want to turn it around, let you all see. Now I do have some more glaze left. All right, I do have some more, and if you have a pastry brush, you could just take it and put some on here. Oh yes, you can. Just like that there. See how beautiful that is? You just do that in between. See how beautiful that is? I don't want to burn myself here. Give me a second. Ooh, child. Ooh, Cousin Andrew don't want to burn herself, child. And then tell you what you can do. You don't want to throw all that glaze away. Just dab it a little. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this ham. Also, please share this video. Share my page if you don't mind. Leave me a thumbs up. And if you decide to cook this ham, please, I'd love to hear back from you. Come back and leave Cousin Angie a comment. And let me know what you, your family, your guests, co-workers, loved ones, I'd like to hear back from you. And look at that, all that goodness, honey. Oh, for the one time. I don't throw nothing away, honey. Just like that. All right, and you can just let that set before serving for about 20-25 minutes. And there we go, cousins. Our brown sugar, honey, pineapple glazed ham. Hope that you enjoy this recipe. And I did cook mine for 45 minutes. As you saw me do, I pulled it out the oven, glazed it, put it back in the oven for 15 more minutes, and just dab a little of the remaining glaze on it. So now we're just going to let this sit for about 25 minutes, okay? I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please, cousins, love on one another till I see you the next time, as I always say. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought about my recipe. I love to hear from you. If you make it, come back, leave your cousin a message and let me know what you thought about it, or your family, friends, co-workers, church members, whomever you serve it to, or even if it's just for you. I love to hear back from you, okay? Love on one another, and until the next time I see you all, I love you. Take care. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide.